Hello and welcome to O'Reilly Friday. I'm your host, Greg Waddell, aka Loser, and I'm joined by two guys whose teams are on multi-week win streaks right now. The one and only Riley Davis is here. Riley, could I measure your cervix?
What do you mean by that?
I'm wondering if I could measure your cervix.
I don't think Riley has a cervix.
He doesn't?
No.
I do not know.
I think only women have cervixes.
I gotta be honest, I don't understand what a cervix is.
I mean, I could walk you through it. What is your wife currently dilated?
Let me check.
Like
I gotta open up the dilation app.
Well, there's a dilation app?
You haven't been on the dilation app?
No, I was a classic like weekly check-in with the OBGYN, and she's like, if you got a tea time tomorrow, cancel that because we're getting dilated. And I'm like, I'm dialed, doc.
Yeah, true. All right. Well,
I'm not gonna
what a
lie,
way to start the show. Hi, Riley.
This dilation talk has thrown me off my pivot a little bit. Was not expecting that as soon as we hit record. Off air, we were talking about how it's January, February Hubert, and next thing I know, we're going straight into pregnancy talk.
What if you had another child and named him Cervix?
Yeah. I mean, it is. Don't you see? Like, it's a look into my world now, boys. Isn't it hard to like try and focus on college basketball when cervixes are dilating?
Yeah, true. And like your team's like putting you in a tough spot. Like you got to deal with guards that don't know how to play while also being the best husband you can be for your very pregnant wife.
Roddy Yale needs an epidural. That's where I'm at right now.
I wish epidurals were just readily available, like whenever.
It'd be nice. Be nice.
Just get a big needle stuck in your back.
I mean, you get numbed.
It is a large needle, though.
Are you afraid of needle guy, Riley?
Not necessarily, although I don't like watching the needle doing its work. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good with shots and stuff. I just would prefer not to watch the needle go into my skin. Or like if you've ever gotten blood drawn, don't like to see the needle go into the vein, but I'm cool like seeing the blood come out into the bag.
All right, I respect that. Last needle comment, I'll say the worst part about needles, I'm not scared of needles. Don't like watching my child get shots at the doctor.
Oh, that is a tough watch. Yeah.
That's the worst. That's the worst. And the last time I went to, thought the nurse was like taking her time. I'm like, dog, prick him. Like, if you're gonna do it, let's get it out the way. You're letting it like marinate or whatnot. You already wiped the thing, you sterilized it. He's in pain. I'ma slap you. Give him the prick.
What's worse is when they get older and they start kicking when they're getting their shots. Like we had a nurse like miss because Theo was kicking so much, like scratched him with a needle.
See,
yeah, that was a tough one.
That's how I air out the pediatrician. I'll shout out the Bloom pediatrician, by the way. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, that's no disrespect to our pediatrician either. But
yeah,
you know, sometimes everybody can improve though. No one is above criticism.
There's a couple people above it, but we'll talk about that on another episode. Let's get to the YouTube comment of the day.
Just
shout out
cats.
to YouTube. What did you say?
Just cats, right?
Cats.
Above criticism?
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew cats,
Yeah.
yes. I thought you were talking about like actual cats. Hate cats.
Okay.
All right, YouTube comments today. We're gonna go with I'm gonna shorten this because I don't want to butcher your name. Faye is who this comment comes from. I love how there's a white man can't jump movie poster in the background. It's reminding me of Dallin Hall's alley-oop dunk. Never knew Dallin Hall could jump that high. I just want to give everyone a quick moment, if you're watching this on YouTube, to stare deeply at that photo. That's actually me and Greg. Greg for a week found out what AI was, and he has 9 AI generated photos with my face and his face. Greg is Tom Izzo and me is Mateen Cleaves. Like me is Trey Burke. I mean, those are classic, man. Yeah, truly.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I laugh every single day.
Like you walk into your office and that's what you see.
Yeah. And my daughter thinks they're just me. Like she just walks out like, Dada. It's great.
That's perfect. But yeah, shout out to did I miss a Dallin Hall alley-oop dunk in that Iowa State game? Did he have one?
I
I
think I
don't
missed it
remember
and I watched that
one,
game.
but
I
maybe.
don't know. That's the video the comment was on. So I thought maybe that I missed something. But yeah, shout out to Faye, shout out to YouTube, shout out to compliance. We love you. Should we get to the Discord comments?
No.
Greg, can you tell people why they should join the Discord?
Yeah, join the Discord if you'd like. It helps us a lot. It's the only place that we've set up to financially support this show. Referenced it on yesterday's show, but we took a pretty large hit ensuring that we would be YouTube compliant, dropping a couple sponsors that YouTube didn't really give us all the clarity we needed on who we needed to drop. So we were just like, you know what, let's drop them both just to make sure the videos can come back. So that took a pretty large financial hit to us. We're making a lot less than we have in over a year. And that's frustrating in the biggest month of the year. So if you are a fan of this and you have the means to do it, we would really appreciate your financial support until we are able to get back in a spot that helps us out with sponsor money coming in, supporting the fact that we put so much time and effort into these videos. Discord's the best way to do that directly in a way that helps Carter, myself, Riley, everybody else that appears on this channel.
I'll do anything for money. Let's get started with Malik Perry today. We'll love to give some praise to a childhood friend and assistant coach of CSI, or should I say, champs of the Scenic West Athletic Conference once again, and his son turned one. Wish him much more success. Malik, did you like do some drugs before this or something? Riley Fries, how how it feel having your team in the madness? You hoping to land a good big or a new coach?
Both.
What if you had to choose?
New coach.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You think like another coach could get the most out of Ben Allen Lubin?
I think the other if you get a new coach, you probably get a new big on top of it.
That's true. You're getting greedy, but I'll allow it. Um, Greg, if by some chance Jace comes back, gets 30 minutes a game, and be great like he is and has been, should Izzo get a good wing or a good five who can hold his own against anyone?
This is for next year?
Yeah, if Jace comes back. So good wing to pair with him or a good five to pair with him?
Good five.
I'd say good five as well.
Because you want Kohler at the four is part of what makes his team so good. So theoretically, next year it's just Cooper and McCulloch. I think you're definitely going to need another body at minimum. Might as well make it a great one.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I would like to give a shout out to this is Malik Perry again. I'd love to get a shout out to Dion and Carter for mentioning me. Carter, a win against Iowa would be what for you? Everything. The culmination of 4 years of assery. It would mean something to me to hang a banner. I know we already are hanging a banner, but like an outright one would be special. I can't lie to you. Malik Perry once again. Since you guys all have kids, some more than others, would you dress them up in real sports clothing or store brand made up sports teams? Watching kids in Browns gear is just wrong. End of the flurry.
What is this question asking?
Would you dress them up in real sports clothing or store brand made up sports teams?
So are we talking about like just like a generic number 5 football jersey versus like a Tar Heel football jersey?
That's what I'm guessing, yeah.
I would let my kid rock out in the actual Tar Heel jersey.
Yeah, me too. I'd rather not do like the generic like football team 7.
And I'll even go one step further. I'm not buying like the knockoff Russell brand UNC jersey from Walmart. We're getting the Jordan. Like, you think I'm taking my son to go see Bill Belichick in person without a Jumpman on his jersey? You surely have Bluffs mistaken if you think that's the case.
You got a couple questions on why you're just taking your son to see Bill Belichick.
Riley, how do you feel about nudist colonies?
I would say that's something I'm probably morally opposed to.
Why? Oh, so I'd like to tap into this a little further. Adam and Eve.
That's actually a good question. Maybe I'm not.
Yeah, like I would argue that like that's the purest form of worship.
It probably depends on like what's the heart behind this nudist colony. If
Would-
it's like if it's
Like
one
freedom.
that if it's one that quickly devolves into debauchery, then yeah, I'm probably morally opposed to it. But if it's like we're just trying to get back to the Garden of Eden, I would say it's not for me, but maybe I understand where you're coming
See,
from.
I would argue that society deciding that we need to clothe ourselves is actually the devil's greatest work. because when it was just Adam and Eve pure in Eden, I mean, there was no thought. We don't need to hide anything. We are God's children. There's no lust. There's no morally implicit behavior here. Now there's
Correct.
shame, there's pride, there's all
But
of those things, you know?
one would argue, could a nudist colony exist without the corruption that like humans brought into the world?
Mm,
Like because when Adam and Eve were naked and felt no shame, which was in that's written, I believe, Genesis 1, Genesis 2, somewhere in the first two chapters. That was before sin and brokenness entered the world. So that would be the question there of like, is this something that would even be able to function without slipping into debauchery
yeah,
with our current reality of the world?
it's a good question. Cart, what college basketball player do you think would be most likely to live in a nudist colony?
Mm,
Current or historic?
yeah, I was gonna say
I think either works.
Adam Morrison.
Adam Morrison was going to be my go-to too.
Adam
Card.
Morrison, Chris Douglas Roberts is up there for sure. Matthew
Caleb
Meyer,
Caleb Loner.
Caleb Lohner for sure. Yeah. Stephen Ashworth, I think, would be like a good nudist colony coordinator.
Bill Walton, rest in
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah, would definitely be one. Riley, what are your thoughts on free balling? Do you free ball?
I do not know.
Okay. It's nice. You should give it a go. Also, I need y'all to get back in banner talk so we don't have to talk about nudist colony thoughts, even though that was a very nuanced conversation. I appreciate you both for approaching it the way you did. Um, Purdue Fox. I had to do my employee yearly reviews today, and I used the word special to describe their strengths more often than I should have. Thanks for making that more in my vocab, Greg.
I mean, I love the word special.
You're in a yearly review. I mean, like you did solid this year. I mean, you were special in the deliverables in February. I'm picturing that. Just so funny. I'd be interested to know for like the loyal listeners of Sleepers if there is some vocab that has just like made its way into their real life. Like I feel like there's a good amount of loyal Sleepers listeners who use unequivocally way too much.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Riley, you use any new words that's talking to us a little more often than you used to?
That's a good question. I mean, unequivocal has become more common in my lexicon. Keep reading comments. I'll try to think of one.
Lexicon's crazy. I Maynor. Great member of the community. Love I Maynor. Duke fan. Left an essay. Ain't reading all that. If you wanna
Come on. Can you paraphrase? Can you at least summarize
no,
it?
you can't even paraphrase this. This is ridiculous. This is a chapter book right here. You gotta do something. It's a chapter book with also a multiple choice at the end. Like you're supposed to remember the whole soliloquy before that, and you got to be better. Give me the spark notes of that I Manor. We'll try again next week. Heiko, please. Happy Riley Fridays. Greg, what's a single digit win season like? I'm worried it's very much in play next year, and I had zero investment in the team pre-Pike.
I mean, it's the worst. It's the worst thing ever. You get to a point where you are actively rooting against your own team week in and week out. It saps you of literally all joy. Um, but I mean, if it gets that bad, it changes. That's the bright side. You will not have to go through a single win season 2 times in a row. Nobody would subject themselves to that.
Was that the worst sports season of your life, Greg, as a fan?
Probably, yeah.
Also, Louisville went through back-to-back single win seasons under Kenny Payne.
Back to back is insane.
Yeah, it's tough.
Syracuse might get there next year. I don't know if they've hit double digits. If they bring Red Autry back, they might be staring down the barrel of another 9-win season.
That 0-16 Lions season didn't hurt more, G.
I was too little, I think, at that point.
We weren't that little.
We were still, it wasn't high school.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. What year?
Wasn't it like 2000? Like it was 2000, what, 16?
No.
Am I?
It was 2008.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, we were in high school.
I mean, I was like 8th grade.
Who was
Okay.
the coach when y'all went 0-16?
What's his name? Wasn't Caldwell. It was wasn't the white dude?
Schwartz.
Yeah, I think
I
it was
forgot.
Schwartz.
Wait, it was Schwartz?
It was either Schwartz or Caldwell. One of those.
No,
two.
wasn't it Marinelli?
Was Marinelli the coach?
I thought Schwartz had some good years.
He
It was
did.
It was Rod Marinelli, folks.
Rod Marinelli.
Jeez, I completely forgot that name even existed.
Yeah, I don't know what a single week. I don't know what a single win college season is like, but that 0-16 year will forever stick with me. Like I love the Lions, and I literally woke up 16 Sundays in a row and watched my team lose.
Shout out to Purdue legend Cliff Averill.
I loved Cliff Averill.
Cliff Averill was nasty.
Yeah,
Who did
Loved.
y'all? Okay, so after that was 08, did y'all get Stafford the next year? Stafford, or is he on the 0-16 team? Let me look
No,
this.
he was on that team, I think. No, he wasn't. No, it was like Sean Hill at
it was
quarterback.
it was Dante Culpepper, Drew Henson, Dan Orlovsky, Drew
Yeah,
Stanton.
you took Stafford number one in the 09 draft.
God, I'm so glad we left those times. Pike will please once again. Carter and Riley, when's the last time each of your teams had a single digit win season?
UNC was 2002. They went 8-20. The Bucks was 24. Well, I was thinking as y'all were talking about this, the Bucks went 2-14. I think our senior year of college, and we drafted Jameis the next year, and it like didn't get that much better. That 2-14 year was miserable.
Congrats to you, Riley, for knowing it was 0-1-0-2. 8-20 record for UNC. Last time for Michigan State was in 69-70. They had a 9-15 record. Um, Fam 33, slow news week. Looking ahead to March, I would like to extend an olive branch to Bluffs. Bluffs, you are officially offered the same bandwagon spot you granted me last year as an honorary MSU fan. Given your Tar Heels are in a down year, do you accept?
I do. I love Jace. I love friendship. Go green, go white.
Chase, I love it. That's
Jace
it.
is so freaking good, dude. Like that
He
kid is just absolutely special and a delight to watch. Oh, a word I took from y'all is nimble. I use nimble all the time ever since Cart once described himself as nimble with his
I love
cat-like
that.
reflexes.
I didn't want to. I am nimble. Malik Perry, once again, extra. Michigan State is your Big Ten champion. We would like to thank Carter, Illinois, Purdue, and our biggest fan, Greg. Carter, don't be talking BS. Act like you got class. I
Can I
always have.
read a DM from Malik?
Huh, you got a DM from Malik?
Yeah, I'd like to read a DM from Malik last night.
I don't. I don't know if I should allow this.
This was last night at 10:01 p.m. Eastern. Malik said, "Save the Big Ten. Now that we are champs, hopefully we lose next two and share it."
Wow, look at him.
To save the Big Ten movement, I feel the love from Michigan State fans in our Discord, and I appreciate that. I'm sorry that my team let you down, but the consolation prize is a solo championship. So the power of friendship and togetherness, Cart. My Spartans got it done, and I'm proud of them, and I'm happy for them.
Oh well, for those who don't know. Um, Malik, once again, Tom was doing a preview before we played Michigan. One person asked, is Saudi helping with the scouting their players? Tom, not really. Most left the team besides Cheddar. Another person about Howard. Tom, I'm only worried about players that play. Then he laughed. Thanks, Malik. Let's see. Malik, is it time for teams to be serious? All right, this is a classic. Malik's last comment. Is it time for teams to be serious since the tournament is fast approaching?
Yes.
I'd say yes too. Greg, do you say yes?
No, I think you still got like a week to dick around.
Yeah. got a couple days.
Yeah.
Oh man, good God. Burner 605, happy Riley Friday. Just wanted to mention how great Florida is. Riley and I both agree they are elite. What is their biggest weakness?
Burner and I were actually DMing about this last night. I'm gonna have a really tough time not picking the Gators to win the title. This is another team that, like, stylistically, I love the way they play. I love that they dominate the offensive glass. I love how good defensively they are. I think those two recipes, as a Roy Williams guy, like speak to my heart, especially in March. And of course, they have the guards who can take over games. The only weakness I could really think of is like Todd Golden's March history has been spotty, checkered to say the least. And I guess you could say like they lack the top end pro talent, but I think Alex Condon has a chance to be a first round draft pick. Like maybe not this year, but eventually. Even this year, I think there's a chance if he left, like a team could talk themselves into him between like picks 20 and 30. I think Walter Clayton probably gets a two-way contract. Like they have future pros. It's just not there's not like the surefire first round pick like Duke has, or even I would say Auburn has in Broome. That maybe gives you a little bit of pause, but yeah, I think that team is just so freaking good.
Yeah, I love my Gators. Here's what's gonna be their downfall. I don't mean to reference this because I don't, not everyone watches TikTok, but there's a trend where like basically there's a fake shootout happening and you like act too cool because you're in front of the girls. You're just like, oh, huh, silly bullets flying in the house. Like I'm too cool for that. That's what scares me about Florida. I think sometimes end of game stuff, they can act like, oh, I'm too cool. Or like Cam Ward in the pocket for the Miami, how he used to do like the just, oh, I'm so cool and chill back here. I'm not worried about anything. That scares me as well as Golden's record in March. But I would like to take a small victory lap. These were my Gators this year. And
You
people
have
laugh.
claimed 15 teams, and
Oh,
because I'm claiming my rival, you're allowed to, but like you can't just pick the one that actually turned out great and claim them.
but Greg, can't you? But come on, like I know I've claimed teams, but they've been my
Can we
Gators.
just get a full, like I want to go through the full list. Your Gators, your
Hmm.
Red Raiders,
Yep.
your Badgers,
Hmm.
your Terrapins.
Hmm.
There was a time you said your BYU, which is crazy. You had your Aggies at one point.
Hmm. I think that's about
Um,
it.
no, I think there were more if we keep scrolling, but you like Memphis. You've said your Tigers,
I don't know. I don't know, Dyer. I don't know,
your
man.
Longhorns.
Yeah, they're always our Longhorns.
I mean,
Greg,
that's a staple every year.
Greg, I'm gonna do that thing you say where, oh, it's so cute. Riley and Carter always in agreement because these are all my teams too. Like every team that you've mentioned outside of maybe Maryland, which like I still love Derek Queen, so like they're kind of my
What do
Terrapins
you love
adjacent.
about Wisconsin? Like, come on.
I
Don't
told you this
pretend you love
before.
Wisconsin
I
just to do
do
the
love
bit.
okay. I do love Wisconsin. I love Nolan Winter.
Oh
I
my
love John
God,
Tanji.
man.
I
This
love the
is
way they share the rock. I love the way they jack threes and make a bunch of threes. I love that Greg Gard has the personality of an expired gallon of milk. Like I love everything about this Badgers team.
it's so gross. Okay, can I make the one anti-Florida case just to constantly antagonize you two?
Yeah.
Shout out Evan Mia. Evan Mia has the opponent adjust metric. Florida is like as high as you can get on the red column, which means the red bar, you play great against the best teams in the country, but you underperform
Mm,
loudly against teams that you're way better than. That
mm,
has been the story of Florida's entire season. When they get up for these marquee games, sure, they're awesome. They're going to be a one seed. You have to get to the Final Four before winning the Final Four. Like I am so confident that this Florida season is just going to end with them losing to somebody that they absolutely should not and looking disinterested for the first 20 minutes and then trying to like scratch and claw their way out of a 20-point hole to like an 8 seeded UConn.
yeah, I can't say I can't not see that. Not UConn though.
By the way,
Not
those eight
Yeah, the
seeds, did you
only
see the tweet about the 8 seeds? Stucky said the
yeah,
projected 8 seeds
like
are all
Gonzaga
terrifying
was
right now.
one.
dude, they are. I'm sorry, Illinois, BYU, Gonzaga, UConn. Florida is going to skull drag three of those four. The
No
only one
chance.
I think that can give them a game is BYU.
No chance.
Skull Drag is crazy.
You
That's what
take Todd Golden's going to skull drag Dan Hurley in the
this
round of
this
32.
UConn team stinks. This UConn team
Oh,
does
they
not have
don't. They
talent.
just they just swept Marquette.
Okay, Marquette hasn't been good since like December.
Wait, you're in on UConn, Greg?
They're playing good right now. I thought Marquette would beat them last night, and I was really
Florida
impressed
has
with what they did.
they're just so much more talented than UConn. Gonzaga's been dead for like 2 months.
Talent's not
Ill-
the issue with Florida. Like they're good. They're going to get a one seed. Don't get me wrong, but like they've all of their losses have had huge stretches of disinterested play.
I guess so. I just like
How many
I've done
losses have they had?
All right.
They don't have any bad losses,
I
right?
hear your point. I haven't seen other contenders look so disinterested in games that end up causing them to lose games.
but
That's
convert
you said they're too cool, Cart. You want to call it cool, fine. But like this team just stops caring for 20 minutes once every 3 games.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Let's see. Travis Nelson, thoughts on doing a topic on the best and worst draw by seeds for your favorite teams, like you've done in years past. I think we'll save that for a segment maybe for next week. That's a good one. Maybe do that and maybe do like the can this team make the run like report card thing that we did. Let's see here. Uh, this is for Greg from Travis. Greg, what has really happened with Michigan? I know they've been winning close a lot, but ever since MSU second half, it's been really ugly.
Just total lack of confidence, broken mental, emotional play from three guys: Roddy Gale, Reuben Jones, and Trey Donaldson.
Makes sense. Mr. Mouse, reporting live from jury duty as the self-appointed Sleepers media courtroom correspondent. My question for Greg and the big fella, that's I can't get a name. I mean, respect. What is the maximum punishment you would take in order to be able to watch the tournament? I'd be willing to do a week in the state, eat, sleep, hoop, lift, in order to watch a 13 seed do the Cinderella dance.
I mean, like, this is a tough question because I feel like I'm setting my own, like, I'm giving myself a harder punishment than I need to. But,
Mhm.
like, I think the real answer is I would do like serious hard time to be able to watch the tournament. Like if you were telling me I had to do 6 months in jail in order to be able to watch the NCAA tournament this year, I would do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I love the tournament, so yeah, I would.
here's a question. The three of us each spend 6 months in jail. Who comes out? Who comes out the same? Who comes out weaker? Who comes out more mental, like stronger? I'm talking like mentally, emotionally, physically. Like which one of us, which one of us most benefits from jail, and which one is most broken by jail?
Easiest answer of all time. Easy.
Greg would be most broken.
I think
Yep.
so too.
Yep.
I would come out the strongest.
I think so
And
too.
Physically, and Riley would be mentally, spiritually.
yeah, yeah. I like with all due respect, right? There's a good chance you come out Muslim.
I just come out celebrating Ramadan.
Yeah, like yeah, very good chance. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. All hail the Pope. I think Alabama is madly overrated. The only good SEC win they have this year is a banged up Kentucky. First time we played, we didn't have a healthy Andrew Carr. Second time, we didn't have Butler or Robinson. Oates is way overrated. All right, all hail the Pope. This is the last week we're doing this. Okay, every single one of your comments is about Oates versus Pope and arguing an argument that's not there. Nate Oates is better than Mark Pope. Let it go. They can both be good. He ain't better than Oates. He won't be better than Oates.
Remember when Alabama beat Houston?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, they did do that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. But remember when Kentucky beat Duke?
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah. Long time ago. In a bluegrass state far, far away.
Remember when
Sleep.
UNC beat Dayton?
Uh,
My cervix wasn't even dilated back then.
my word. Sleeve Nash. Richie Saunders and AJ DeBanso will be a top blank duo in college basketball next season. Top 10, top 5, top 3.
15.
5.
Top 15.
DeBance is not going to enjoy the fact that we are putting him in a duo with Richie Saunders, and that's why.
That's true. I say top 10. I'll go top 10. Last question from Mono CBB. Accidental skip again? No, I didn't accidentally skip this. I skipped it on purpose, Mono. But I'll do it right now. Which player currently playing in the Big Ten could you see being a slumlord in their college town 10 years down the road?
Accidentally skip this one.
Yeah. Which player currently playing in the Big Ten could you see still being in their college town 10 years later down the road?
Kylan Boswell.
Yes, he's from Champaign. That's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy for me. That does it for the comments today.
Great job, comments. Thank you. Let's get to the program. But first, God, do you have any answers for me today?
Be compliant.
Oh yeah. First, we're brought to you by YouTube Compliance Department. It's been a very compliant week for us, Cart.
It has been. We've been, as always, being as compliant and in lockstep with our Twinskies over at up top of YouTube, making sure that we are doing our best to make sure that their product is upheld to its highest standard.
Yeah. Yeah. How has your life changed since becoming YouTube compliant?
My life,
Yeah.
I actually lost like 4 pounds.
I eat breakfast now. I'm a lot healthier mentally. It's great. All right. Thank you to YouTube Compliance for always keeping us accountable and making this a safe environment for all of our listeners. Let's get to the show. Topic number one.
So So last week of the season, these awards are going to be announced. I think next week, the Hoop Hall Classics, where you have the Kuzi Award, the Jerry West Award, the Julius Erving Award, the Karl Malone Award, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award. I'm talking about all the positional ones, the top five essentially at each. And we already have the watch lists. I believe three of those five have narrowed it down to five finalists. Karl Malone Award and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award for some reason still have 10 finalists. I did the work for us and narrowed those down to five too, because there's a lot of fat to trim. But what I want to do is pick the Sleep Hall Classics award winner, and we're also going to be changing some names. We're not picking a Kuzi award winner. We're gonna name that award after like whatever collective point guard we agree upon. Same with Jerry West, same with Julius Erving, and so on and so forth.
The Sleep Hall is great.
Sleep Hall Classics, baby.
Sleep Hall Classic.
So I'll kick us off with the Kuzi Award, which I am proposing to rename to the De'Aaron Fox Award. I know he was only at Kentucky 1 year, but I've gone on record before saying he's my favorite non-UNC basketball or college basketball player. If you have pushback or other suggestions, please submit them to the suggestion box. The finalists for the De'Aaron Fox Award: Mark Sears, Walter Clayton, Cam Jones, Braden Smith, Zakai Ziegler. Who are we picking out of that one?
So one, I think this should be named the Jalen Brunson Award. But I'll allow De'Aaron Fox. This is Braden. It also should be named the Braden Smith Award after this.
So I kind of want to, like, it's our awards. I kind of want to honor our teams.
Honor our teams.
And for that reason, like, I feel like it should be the Trey Burke Award. And then when time comes, it can be the whatever Draymond Green Award and the Tyler Hansbrough Award.
That's
Okay, that's fine. All right, this
Yeah,
is the Trey Burke Award.
Yeah.
All right,
If you guys are willing, I like that. But yeah,
willing.
Braden's got to win this.
I'm more than willing, Gregory.
Thank you. Braden's got to win, I think, right?
How
Yeah,
close
so-
are Braden and Walt Jr.?
They're closer than you think, but it's Braden pretty easily.
Okay, I don't have any problem with that. I just wanted to make sure our Gators get their due for this one. It's Jerry West Award. Which what do we want to rename this to?
I mean, should it be the Michael Jordan Award?
Did
Is
you
it
guys
be-
know that Braden Smith is averaging more than double the assists that Walter Clayton is while only averaging 0.7 points less per game?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
And that he's also more efficient from every spot on the floor and better defense. It's not close. Like, come on. What was that propaganda? Trying to sneak in how close is it? It's not close at all.
Respect my Gators.
I'm literally just going. I couldn't tell you how much Walter Clayton's averaging. I just know that when I watch him, I think he's nice with it for real. To where
He is nice with it for real, for real.
He is a lot nicer with it for real than Braden, which is tough.
the Jerry West Award. I guess we could name it after Jordan. I'm undecided on that. Is there a Spartan you'd rather give it to? The Gary Harris Award.
Two guard spot?
Yeah.
Well, are we doing all five spots from all our teams, or are we doing like I only want one Burke? We could leave two up for like debate for other names if we want still.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I don't know. Is there a two guard, Riley, that you feel good about that you want to be this award? Like, I ain't naming it the RJ Davis Award. I'm sorry.
I mean, you could go with like Wayne Ellington.
I mean, it would literally be Jordan if we're going there. But
Yeah,
I
if we
feel
if it's
I
a
feel
Tar
you
Heel,
should
it's gotta be
find somebody
Jordan.
else probably for UNC.
Let's leave that one open. We can come back to it. But the finalists for the Jerry West Award are Caleb Love, VJ Edgecombe, PJ Haggerty, Chaz Lanier, Trey Johnson. I don't really feel good about any of these finalists. If Valdez is a finalist, respectfully, like RJ Davis should be one. Both those teams stink.
Can't move past the fact you just try to sneak in that we might name this the Wayne Ellington Award.
I'm throwing out famous Tar Heel two guards.
Can it be the OJ Mayo Award?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can name it OJ Mayo. I like
Yeah.
that. Good pull, Greg.
Let's do
Okay.
that. Wayne, that just pissed me off beyond all that. I can't I get it, but good grief. I mean, out of that group, I think it comes down to all right, well, I guess let me get a quick pulse check on y'all with these individual awards. How much does team success value into this?
I
Trey
value it
Johnson's
a
the
lot.
best player on that list.
Yeah, I value it a lot, but Richard is so good that like he might just steal it.
Like, I feel like this has got to go to Haggerty or Trey Johnson.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Uh-oh.
What's
Grab
the
it.
word when you pull yourself out of a conversation?
See yourself out.
Yeah, I do that.
You have nothing for this one?
You guys can do your little Trey Johnson bit. I'm not gonna argue you.
What about, shouldn't Cam Jones be on this list?
It's a point
No,
guard.
yeah.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Well, who would be your pick for this, Greg?
Probably Haggerty.
Haggerty? I feel fine with Haggerty.
I'm good with Haggerty just because I mean, you got to give the bump to the team success. Richard might not even get into the tournament, so
Also respect Haggerty doing all this and like shaking copious amounts of tushy for other schools right now. Like, hey,
Haggerty's
y'all pay
numbers
me.
are Haggerty's numbers are high key ridiculous, by the way. I know we're
21,
just doing
5, and
like
3.
nice with it for real, but 21 points, 5.5 rebounds, 4 assists, 49% from the floor, 41% from three.
Yeah, he is ridiculous.
Yeah, he just we'll give it to him. He deserves it.
His numbers are like National Player of the Year worthy, but that's obviously not going to happen.
Yeah, he is stupid for real with it.
All right, small forward.
Julius Irving Award. Do we want to rename this to can we like
Also, Trey Johnson's averaging 21 on 45 and 40 from the three.
That's
Sorry.
worse than Haggerty.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
You could Denzel Valentine this cart,
Ooh.
or you could Miles Bridges it, or you could wait for Draymond.
I'm gonna wait for Draymond. I'm gonna wait for Draymond.
Is there a small forward, Riley?
I want this to be the Durant Award.
Yeah, I'm good with Durant.
All right.
The finalists for the Kevin Durant Award: Chad Baker, Mazzara, Cooper Flagg, Jackson Robinson, Ace Bailey, RG Lewis.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So the Draymond Green Award, let's go ahead and get to that.
I was going to make the Chad Baker Mazzara case, but okay. All right.
Were you?
Go ahead. It's okay.
I think Chad Baker, Mazzara's. You probably give it to RJ Lewis for second.
It's Cooper Flag, man.
I know. I'm saying it's Flag first, but I'm saying like if you got to pick one for number two, it's either Baker, Mazzara, or Lewis.
Don't have to. Don't have to. Sleep.
All right, the Draymond Green Power Forward Award.
So this is the one that I had to trim the fat from because they still had 10 finalists, and I didn't even make note of like there really only need to be 3 finalists for this, and really it's going to come down to one. Janai Broom, JT Toppin, Eric Dixon. You could cut the list off there. The other two I threw in the finalists are Danny Wolf and Alex Caravan.
So Broom's on this and not
Not the same
not
one. Yeah.
not the Kennedy Meeks Award. I mean, in all seriousness, I know this has to be Broom,
Mm-hmm.
but JT Toppin has been ridiculous this season.
He's leading the country in 30-10 games.
Dog, like he's actually been insane this season.
Yeah, he's so good.
And Broom's kind of sucked the last week. I can't do it though, G. I can't. Can I?
Yeah, I was gonna, in the wise words of Aubrey, no, don't do it. Please don't do it.
Okay.
Please. If one of us
Janai
goes in, then we all don't
we all
broom
go.
it. And I want to broom it.
Okay. That's fine.
But Jaden's got the money.
We can do that. JT's been ridiculous.
All right, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Award being renamed to the Kennedy Meeks Award. The five. How funny would that be to make it Meeks over Hansbrough?
I love that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's okay.
All right, cool. It's the Meeks Award. The Kennedy Meeks Award is it's down to Ryan Kalkbrenner, Derek Queen, Vlad Golden, Maxime Reynaud, shout out Max, Asa Newell. The other finalist that I was like, yeah, you can trim this fluff here is Hunter. Hunter, I'm sorry, your team's too bad. Get out of my face. Dawson Garcia, Nate Biddle, Oscar Clough, Robbie Avila. Just 3 years after the year of the big, quote unquote, it's a really sloppy list of finalists for the Meeks Award.
Oh, this is tough. This is tough.
I'll put my vote in for Maxime Abdul-Jabbar.
There is you honestly wouldn't have to work too hard to convince me to give it to Maxime Abdul-Jabbar, but Stanford just lost to Notre Dame last night, which I think disqualifies them.
Yeah, but counterpoint, y'all didn't care when we were talking about Richard.
This probably has to go to Calk.
Oh, come on.
Calk's averaging 20 and 9.
Maxime's averaging 20 and 11.
Since
Yeah, but
what's
they're
the
losing.
switch up with Maxime Abdul-Jabbar, Greg? I thought
His
you weren't a
numbers are
Maxime
good.
guy. His numbers are nasty.
Just
If
numbers
we're
Also,
only
Kalk doesn't average 20.
he doesn't?
We're just making up numbers.
Oh, okay, 19. 19 and 9.
19-9 is pretty good. I didn't realize Queen's only averaging 15 and 9. If it was just based on that he's nice with it for real, it would be Derek Queen. But we might have to
Okay.
go.
Can I make one last pitch for Derek Queen?
Yeah.
Given that this is a Kennedy Meeks award and
Mhm.
given Kennedy Meeks BMI, I think that the pick here should have a little bit of meat on his bones.
I do like that angle.
If you guys do not vote in your quote unquote guy who you've been gassing up for 2 years after he has better averages than everyone else on this list, that's fine by me. But I want you both to understand that not voting him the best center when he has the best numbers after you've been propagating him for 2 years means you no longer get to claim him. And that's what this is. So again, I know you're doing the bit where you guys just agree on everything. And since I said Renault initially, you were like, ooh, no, I have to stop liking the guy that we've said is the best for 2 years. That's fine. But if you don't vote him, you cannot claim him anymore.
All right, I got Renault.
Yeah, let's go Reno.
Oh,
That's great. So, so a recap. These are the Sleep Hall Classics Award winners. The winner of the Trey Burke Award, Purdue's Braden Smith. The winner of the OJ Mayo Award, Memphis's PJ Haggerty. The winner of the Kevin Durant Award, Duke's Cooper Flagg. The winner of the Draymond Green Award, Auburn's Janai Broom. And the winner of the most prestigious of all, the Kennedy Meeks Award goes to Stanford's Maxime Reynaud.
Kennedy Meeks being the UNC representation tells you all you need to know about the UNC program right now. Topic 2, sir.
On that note about the state of the UNC program, it is rivalry weekend. Just don't be surprised. Whatever happens, don't be surprised. But I wanted to do one of those immaculate grids y'all did for your teams with both UNC and Duke for great and loved, great and divided, great and hated, average love, average divided, average hated, and so on and so forth.
so you want to do it for who?
UNC and Duke.
Okay, deal.
Let's make two of these rules, or excuse me, two of these grids. I did some prep work, so yeah, but I'm going to bounce some ideas off of you.
Lead us, Riley. Lead us.
So starting off with UNC for great player who is loved by fans. The obvious answer here, I think, is Hansbrough. Maybe the not really a deep cut, but a slightly more deep cut here would be Marcus Page. I feel like Marcus Page is absolutely beloved by UNC fans, like on Hansbrough's level. He just doesn't have the national title that Hansbrough does, or the National Player of the Year.
Question: are we putting ourselves in the shoes of Carolina and Duke fans here? Or are we doing fans of the sport at large?
Let's do like 80% Carolina and Duke fans here, 20% outside opinion.
So I was going to argue with Hansbrough. I don't know that you could say loved because I think the country hated Hansbrough, almost like Reddick, where he would be like the divided one for me.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think I'd go Marcus Page.
Let's go Marcus Page.
Yeah, I think
I love
Hansbrough
Marcus
should be the
Page.
great player fans are divided.
I like that.
I was so with great and divided. I went with Armando Bacot because UNC fans were like very split on him, even where
That's
like
good too.
I think a lot of UNC fans by the end of his 5 years are like, oh, he's overrated, and now those same UNC fans are like groveling at the feet of Armando Bacot when you see the state of our post rotation this year. But so you could go Armando, you could go Hansbrough, but I think
like
if you're leaning more into the fan perspective, I think it'd be Armando.
Let's go Armando, yeah.
Then great and hated among UNC fans is Rashad McCants, just because he was the one who was like trashing the program and stuff and alleging that he took like he didn't go to class and was never punished for it or whatever. Like the whole academic scandal was tied into Rashad McCants.
I'm starting to notice every time we make these grids for teams, I absolutely love players that are in the hated fans category. Like I love Rashad McCants.
I mean, one of one for sure.
That 3-2 was special in Argyle.
It really was.
That
The only
that
other great and hated player I could think of would be like Dawson Garcia among UNC fans because he dipped in the middle of the season.
no way. Is he really that hated by UNC fans?
I think UNC fans kind of like laugh at Dawson Garcia. Maybe that's me. I think because he had family stuff going on, but I think in the aftermath it was like, oh, he didn't want to be here or whatever. I don't feel that any type of way toward him. I think McCants is the clear one.
All right, let's put McCants there.
So for average and loved, I had
Manic.
huh?
Manic.
Brady Manick was the one I had, but I didn't like. Does his March run elevate him above average to y'all?
No.
No.
Okay, so Brady
Brady
Manick it
Manic.
is.
Yeah.
Average and divided, I had two choices here between Garrison Brooks and Pete Nance.
Did anyone actually love Pete Nance other than me?
I feel like I'm a Pete Nance defender when UNC fans will like hate on his 1 year here just because I don't think it was his fault that team was so bad. I don't think he was used correctly. Brooks is the one who was there for a while to where like that the year where the tournament got canceled because of COVID, Garrison was putting up stupid numbers. The only problem was UNC won 14 games. And then the next year we benched Walker Kessler so we could watch Garrison Brooks
I
play
think it's
30
Garrison
minutes.
Brooks.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
My
it
only
might be.
argument was Brooks might be too good for it for average, but given the team success, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think he was a pretty I mean he was a good big, but pretty average in the grand scheme of things.
That makes sense.
Average and hated, I would say JP Tokudo, who I don't know if like UNC fans like hated JP Tokudo, but it was always like this dude can jump out the gym, he can handle at 6'6" and pass, and it was just there was no in between for like mind-numbing turnover and like reverse in-game dunk.
Here's my issue. There's no way Caleb Love is getting off of this without being on the list.
Would you say I would say he's more like either great and divided or average and divided.
Yeah, maybe. I don't. I guess I'll trust you on where he belongs.
I probably put Caleb.
Calling
might
Caleb
make-
Love a great player is crazy to me.
But I think he's better than an average player. Like I mean, he was an All-American last year at Arizona, but
Yeah, but this is the UNC grid, not the Arizona grid.
I don't know if I would say he was even average at UNC. I would say he was good at UNC and had moments of
Average
great.
is average is good in this case.
I mean, he abandoned y'all after being the preseason #1, leading you to no postseason bid, and then just left in the middle of the night after hooking up with his backcourt mate's girlfriend.
But I think
And we're like, yeah, he was really good. We liked him. Like,
I wouldn't put Caleb Love in like the hated category though, just because like people will always go back to the shot against Duke. Like
yeah.
that keeps you immune from hatred. I would say he's divided. I mean, we could bump out Garrison Brooks for Caleb Love.
I'd bump him out for Garrison Brooks.
All right, we'll put Caleb Love at
I
average.
can't believe Carolina fans like love Caleb Love. I can't believe there's anyone who's still doing that. That's insane to me.
He sent
But-
Coach K packing.
I mean,
Like, don't if I'm trying to think of what an equivalent. If you had Michigan, like if
it's Hunter Dickinson, but I hate Hunter Dickinson.
but like if Hunter Dickinson knocked down a three to push you past
Hunter
Michigan
Dickinson
State
beat
in a Final
Michigan
Four
State for me
game,
multiple times.
but not in a Final Four. Like if Hunter Dickinson got you to a Final Four, don't you think you'd feel differently about him?
I don't know. I really don't think so.
Final Four is different, but
So is missing the tournament. Like, I just yeah, the idea that you guys hate Rashad McCants, who, I mean,
won a championship.
won a national title for you, and don't hate Caleb Love is
First of all,
ludicrous
I
to
don't
me.
hate. I love Rashad McCants.
Me too.
He led the way for me. F school hoop like that.
Love doesn't have to go on here since we don't agree. I'm baffled by the way he's received still.
I guess it makes some sense. I don't know. Thanks for the memories. Word to follow, boy. Bad and loved. Here's one for you, Puff Johnson. People love Puff Johnson.
No way that people actually love Puff Johnson. Bad love is Theo Pinson.
Okay, Theo Pinson wasn't bad. He would be average and loved. I
Yeah,
will
bad
argue that-
and loved is Theo Pinson.
Fine. We can put Theo Pinson.
We're
on
gonna
there.
overrule you, and you don't have to admit that he's bad.
Bad and divided. I have like Jalen Withers and Vanilla Lubin on here.
Those guys are just bad, Riley.
There are people in the fan base going to caping for them right now. How about James Michael McAdoo for bad and divided?
What's that?
He was good, but yeah, fine.
All right, that's fine.
Bad and hated is either like Justin Pierce.
Nah, this is an easy answer. It's got to be Joel James
Joel James was the other name I had. I think it's who else were you gonna
or
suggest, Carter?
Playtech.
I don't. Yeah, you could put Playtech on there. I think I'd give the edge to Joel James though.
Dog, Joel James used to piss me off. I wasn't even a UNC fan.
He would. Yeah, yeah. Joel James was bad.
Yeah, that I feel good about that grid.
So to recap, for great and loved, we have Marcus Page. For great and divided, we have Armando Bacot. For great and hated, we have Rashad McCants. For average and loved, we have Brady Manick. For average and divided, we have Caleb Love. For average and hated, we have JP Tokoto. For bad and loved, we have Theo Pinson. For bad and divided, we have James Michael McAdoo. For bad and hated, we have Joel James. Solid
Like it.
work.
Solid.
All right.
Yeah, solid.
Moving on to Duke. Great and loved, I had Zion, especially just because like everybody likes Zion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great and divided, Jabari Parker.
Ooh, great and divided. Jabari. Where they? I was gonna say like Cam Reddish could go here.
I loved
Cam Reddish wasn't
Jabari.
great. But Jabari lost in the first round. Like he got packed up by Mercer.
Did did get danced on by Mercer.
Rodney.
Mercer, dude. Like they were literally dancing afterwards. Like white dudes hitting the nay nay after
That was
Parker got packed up by
that was
Mercer.
crazy.
I feel like great and divided's Reddick.
I guess we could throw Reddick on there just because he was so hated by the same.
If you factor in outside stuff, yeah, because people didn't mess with Reddick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's throw Reddick on there then. Great and hated. I mean, you could make a case like Jalen Johnson was the first name that came up just since he dipped from that team. But
They he wasn't
he
that great, but they did hate him.
I think you could put Kyle Filipowski in there just because I feel like Duke fans got really fed up with him last year.
Isn't it Grayson Allen?
But no, who? I mean, other fans hated Grayson. I feel like Duke fans loved Grayson Allen.
I feel like Duke fans would at least admit this dude sucks.
That's a good point. I think it might be between like by that maybe it's between like Flip and Grayson Allen.
So
It
I
is
guess
between
Duke,
those
Duke
two. I
fans
give it
probably
to
hate Flip more, but
Yeah.
I say Grayson.
Grayson.
Let's go
Either way
Grayson.
is fine by me.
You can go Grayson. Average and loved Tyrese Proctor was I think the clear-cut answer there.
Average and love. I was gonna say Quinn Cook.
But Quinn Cook got them he got them a national title to where I would say he's better than average.
Proctor's gonna get a one too, though.
Not necessarily.
He is Riley. Let's go Proctor. Let's go future national champion Tyrese
I
Proctor.
feel like people. Am I missing the love on Proctor? Maybe it's just because I've been shitting on Proctor for a while.
I feel like Duke fan, all those like Duke fan accounts have been like gassing up Tyrese Proctor for 3 years now.
I think that my takeaway from this exercise is Cart and I are very removed from North Carolina, the state,
Mm-hmm. Maybe for good reason too.
because I perceive many of these players very differently than Riley's saying the fan bases themselves do.
I would say I'm pretty tapped into how the fan base feels about these guys.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
got to know your enemy. Average and divided, two names that came to mind were like Mark Mitchell and Lance Thomas.
Lance Thomas.
I feel like some Duke fans will go to bat for Lance Thomas, and somehow he's stuck in the NBA for like 7 years.
Honestly, Lance Thomas or who was that point? Thornton.
Derek Thornton. I had Derek Thornton.
No, the other
Oh.
Thornton.
Tyler Thornton.
Tyler Thornton.
Tyler Thornton was so freaking average. He averaged like 3 points a game.
I feel like people he was like the black eye on that really great team.
Should we put him in average and hated? I didn't have an average and hated.
Let's do that then. Yeah,
All right, we'll throw Lance Thomas for average and divided, Tyler Thornton for average and hated.
it works.
Bad and loved, Brian Zubek.
I like that.
Yeah, honestly,
Or like Marshall Plumlee.
I'm gonna make this very easy for you. This category is Plumlee brothers.
Yeah, the Plumlee trio.
Mason is one.
What?
No, sorry. Yeah, Mason is one. Miles is two. What's the other one's name?
Marshall was like the worst of the three.
Can I get Lee Melchione somewhere?
Who?
Lee Melchione.
I have no clue who that is.
That was my guy.
Lee When did Lee Melchione even play there?
Sheldon Williams years.
Okay, so like early 2000s.
Yeah, loved Lee.
Where would you put Lee if it was up to you, Greg?
I don't know. I just wanted to name drop that. Thank you.
Let's throw Lee and Tyler Thornton get to hold the banner together for average and hated.
All right, it works.
Okay.
Bad players, all the Plumlee brothers.
Bad and divided. I have Trevon Duval.
Yeah, that's fine.
He had that one dunk that was nice with the for real, but I think Duke players didn't like him
That was
outside of
nice
that.
with it, for real, for real.
Bad and hated. This is a joint award by Derek Thornton and Chase Jeter. They're holding that bad and hated belt together up on the podium.
Chase Jeter, good.
Chase
God.
Jeter was so bad.
Oh, he lied. Bishop
Mark
Gorman set that place back 1,000 years, man.
Marquise Bolden's trying to push one of them off for a spot on that podium too for bad and hated, but
That makes sense.
I forgot
Right.
Chase Jeter existed.
Did he
yeah,
play?
I had fun.
too?
I had fun deep diving some of these rosters, but
Yeah, that was that. I like that exercise. That's fun. Third topic.
were y'all ever fans of Fairly Odd Parents growing up?
Yes.
Yes. Next question.
Today I have a new segment I'm calling Fairly Bluffs Parents, where I am your fairy godparent, and I'm granting you 3 wishes for your teens. It's been a while since we've done a segment like this. To put my own bluff spin on this for the Fairly Bluffs parents, remember how Cosmo Wanda, they had their set of duh rules. Certain
Yeah.
wishes were off limits based on the rules. I have a few rules for you for your 3 wishes.
Okay.
Okay, so you can't wish for a player not on your team to magically appear on your team. Like you can't just be like, "Oh, I wish Cooper Flagg was on Michigan State."
Mm-hmm.
You can't wish for an outcome of a future game to be affected. Like you can't just say like, "Oh, I wish we win the Big Ten tournament or the NCAA tournament." You can't wish for perfection or near perfection. So you can't just say like, "Oh, I wish Jace Richardson or Jackson Kohler hit 100% of his threes from now on." You can't wish for an injury upon an enemy, and any alternated attributes of a player. So let's say like you wish Danny Wolf developed better decision making and never turned it over, like or turned it over less. I think that would be appropriate. But any attribute you alternate for a player, they go back to normal to how they are for the game's final 2 minutes. So
Okay.
like you could wish for Shimon Zapala to develop man, who's like a really skilled big that Michigan State has had recently?
Recently,
Yeah, let's not even get into that topic, please.
I'm gonna wish for a new Fairly Bluffs parent. These rules are crazy.
Yeah, like
Well,
what
a
can we
ego
what can we wish for? New uniforms?
Yeah.
Which rule do you have the biggest gripe with?
I like
The fact that we can't
skills.
wish for anything.
No, the skill. Like I want to wish for some skills to appear, but if they just disappear in the final 2 minutes, why would I wish for them?
All right, fine. We can take that rule away. I'll make an amendment. That rule goes away.
Yeah, it's how you bully a
Yeah.
bluff parent. Yeah, run that. All right, wait. So I can't wish somebody on my team, but I can wish somebody off it.
Yeah.
Okay, I know my first wish.
What's your first wish, Carter?
I don't want Zapala on my team.
So Big Goof is just gone.
Gone and
Big.
gone like out of the sport.
So he's not even going back to Longwood for their Big South tournament.
No.
So mean.
No.
He's part of your championship winning team, man.
And he's just gone. All right, Greg, what's your first wish for Michigan?
I want Sam Walters back.
Define Sam Walters being back. I'll tell you if that's against the rules or not.
He currently, his grandpa died. He went home for the funeral. Then he developed a mysterious back injury and has not taken off his street clothes since for 3 weeks. I think he's portaling. I want Sam Walters available.
I'm looking. Yeah, I don't think that's against the rules. I grant that one. Yeah. Sam
Thank
Walters
you.
is back. Yeah.
Thank you.
Fairly well. For my next wish, Mr. Bluff parent, I would like for my team to be top 100 on KenPom from 3-point percentage.
That is fair. Wish granted.
Thank you.
Gregory.
I want I want Reuben Jones and Roddy Gale gone.
That's two separate wishes, Bluff.
No, that's one. The tandem together on the same. It's one bus ticket.
I'm sorry. I can only grant one.
It's one bus
You
ticket.
already bullied me into changing one rule.
So Carter gets to make his whole team shoot better, but I can only make one player disappear.
Look, sometimes rules are arbitrary. You can only make one disappear. You got to pick between the two. I think I know which one you're picking.
I will no longer use my wishes. I'm fine. I've accepted my fate.
Carter, you still have a wish left. Greg is choosing not to use his, which I feel like is the most that's the most like typical, predictable fashion for Greg to end his wishes is to just opt out because he can't
I
bully
accept the fate that we've earned.
I respect that, honestly. My next wish, let's see. My next wish is that Tom Izzo goes away from doing the auto bench when someone picks up two in the first half.
Okay, so to recap, Shimon Zapala is out of the sport.
Yes.
Michigan State is now top 103-point percentage in the country.
Yes.
Tom Izzo is not auto benching players after 2 fouls.
Yes.
With the changes you've made, how do you feel about Michigan State's ceiling in March? Do you think you're winning a title?
Yes.
To recap Greg's Michigan wish, I don't even remember what your first wish was.
Sam Walters returns.
Sam Walters returns, and then everything else was just opted out. Do you feel better about your ceiling in March now?
No.
For what it's worth, the reason why I put the like alternated attributes of a player go back to normal in the final 2 minutes, one of my wishes for UNC would be just that Van Allen Lubin grows to be 7-2, but then for the game's final 2 minutes, he goes back to being 6'6", just because I think that'd be hilarious.
What are your 3 wishes?
Van Allen Lubin grows to be 7'2". Elliot Cadeau is just a shooting threat. I don't even need a percentage on it. I just need it to be known that like he's a threat to like shoot pull-up jumpers. The third one is probably Ian Jackson plays 30 minutes a game. And I feel like we win even that I'm not sure if we're winning the ACC tournament, unfortunately.
The one thing you should have did, Riley, is my wish, if I was a UNC fan, I want Elliot Cadeau and Jamal Shed to trade brains.
That would not have been against the rules.
That would have been my first move.
That would have been good. That would have been good. I feel like we probably win the ACC tournament, get into the
and
Big
Jamal
Ten.
Shed can get a new brain. I just want Elliot Cadeau's donated to science.
I would want North Carolina in a new country. That's what I would wish to be like in the Euro League's B division with this team, and then you'd win titles
Why do you think that would be the case?
because you wouldn't have to see Duke.
Oh, yeah. It's fair.
My third wish would be to abolish crew.
Okay. One big thing presented by YouTube's compliance department. Riley, go ahead.
An update on the AirPods saga. Last week, I complained about losing my AirPods and being forced to use the wired headphones. Led to a lot of unsavory looks at the gym this week. An update: my wife surprised me with a new pair of AirPods.
Okay, Natalie.
It's engraved with a number 3 on it, which is my high school football number.
That's
insane. But I respect it.
Because they actually engrave your AirPod cases for free. So Natalie did that for me.
Oh, I'm about to start buying people AirPods.
So shout out to my wife. It was a wonderful surprise that I truly did not expect at all. I was very excited to get them. Used them at the gym yesterday. Worked like a charm. Listened to them on a walk this morning. Just in high spirits since order has been restored.
Love that for you.
Yeah. I feel like you buying objects that commemorate your high school days is like one of my favorite things about Riley Davis.
It truly is.
It's great. Car, you want to go next?
My one big thing is I like to make a statement that in the world of baked goods, more specifically in like the dessert world of baked goods, I want to say that I think cupcakes rule supreme. I feel like cakes are always a good go-to. Other treats are always a good go-to. Had a little birthday function for somebody at work, and instead of like bringing them a cake, someone just brought like a bunch of cupcakes, and I felt like that was more efficient and just like better. Like sometimes you don't want a whole slice of a cake, you just want a little piece of the cake, and the cupcake makes that easy.
I'm surprised you're advocating for smaller versions of cake.
Oh, on that note,
What could
big
be on that note?
big nothing bunt case guy cart. I'm glad you gave them a shot. I'm
Those are
gonna
fire,
email
aren't
them
they?
to be a sponsorship. You know
Yeah,
how
those are
special
fire.
that would be if during one big thing we're each opening up a bunt cake, little
Yeah.
red velvet action on your Thursday
Woo.
morning.
The birthday cake, Johns. Woo.
I've
Greg?
never had them. I've never, yeah, I don't know. All right. My one big thing, I feel like I'm going to say one big thing. Carter's going to find a way to slander it. So I'm afraid to go where I'm going because I don't want to set my daughter up for slander. But she's talking a lot and I'm getting terrified of it.
Mm, how so?
She just starts repeating things we say. Like she knows words that we haven't like tried to teach her now. Like last night we gave her a bath and she was just like towel, towel. And I was like, whoa. I took her to the gym yesterday after work day ended, got out of the car. She goes, raining, raining. Like had no idea. So she's probably just gonna start like hearing me on the pod and be like, dickhead, dickhead. Like,
We gotta watch our language.
I know, I'm scared.
Why would I slander that?
I don't know.
I mean, I can work in some slander. You look like a Sons of Anarchy extra.
I mean, that's you don't normally reach, but you reached there.
That happens.
Yeah. All right. That's the show. Thanks, Riley. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.